Hello, in this video I'm really excited to share with you 3 powerful steps in healing both internet addiction and food addictions and how actually one can help with the other. Welcome to my channel if you're new here. My name is Tumi. I am a dancer and a poet and a medical doctor. I help people feel transformative levels of beauty, inspiring them to create and nurture their best, healthiest, most conscious lives. I do this through my healing dances that I perform, as well as my guidance and expertise as a holistic physician. On this channel, I love creating videos on holistic health tips, including my raw vegan lifestyle, also voluntary simplicity or minimalism as a powerful health act, and lots of dance. If any of that sounds interesting to you, consider subscribing down below. Let's get into this video. So I have both professional and personal experience with addiction. For my professional experience as a physician, I had psychosocial training. So part of my residency in internal medicine was on psychosocial medicine. And I have a lot of experience with dealing with addictions from a professional standpoint of view. From a personal point of view, I definitely dealt with food addictions for a long time and healed them over 10 years ago through, in part, changing my diet dramatically. In terms of social media or internet overuse, doing it much more than I wanted to. I also have personal experience with that and also healing from that. So I have personal experience with food addictions and professional experience with healing, helping people heal from addiction, food addictions, internet addictions, other addictions as a physician, guiding people in living their best lives. So I bring both of those to the table when I create this video for you. I think something that both internet overconsumption or internet addiction and food addiction have in common is that more or less, arguably, we have to imbibe of both. You have to eat, and in this day and age, it's really hard to escape consuming internet. And so how do you consume both of these things, food and internet, in a way that still supports your best health and peace and happiness? So here are 3 steps, powerful steps that I've used and or helped people use to do just that. The first one is to take an internet and social media holiday. If you are not new to this channel, you notice that there have not been videos for a while. I took probably about a month to 6 weeks break from work and definitely from social media and internet, both in terms of consumption and in terms of posting. So social media and internet posting is something that I do as part of the work I do as a dancer, doctor. But during this past several weeks, I've just been offline, and it's felt so good. And something I do regularly, once a week, is I take a tech Sabbath. I'll leave a link in the description box below on other videos around how I practice digital minimalism. And it's been so helpful for me over the years in staying healthy in how I consume internet and social media. But taking an extended break, not just once a week, but an extended break as I just did, several weeks offline, is so incredible. And what I found, having just come back from that, is that you really get a chance to see that the biggest wisdom is not from external sources, but from within. I got to feel such a sense of connection with myself, deeper than I do, and I do already feel a deep connection within, a deep connection with spirit, and I got to feel a huge sense of clarity about how I want to move in certain areas of my life. I had questions brewing, and getting off of the external sources through internet or from the internet really gave me a sense of clarity and focus and rest. Many times we don't realize how overstimulating being involved with internet can be. I've also found that working with clients that taking a break from social media and internet can help just relieve anxiety and stress. And part of the reason people overeat is definitely from anxiety and stress. And so here again are how the two, overconsumption of food and overconsumption of internet, can play with each other, intertwined with each other. One thing I want to say also about taking this break is that it's also a perfect time to do a food detox or cleanse. I'm right now in the midst of my Equinox cleanse, and let me know in the comments below if you're interested in me talking about that more. During my time away from the internet, I was not doing a cleanse, but now it's the equinox and I love to cleanse during this time of the year. But doing a food cleanse or detox during the time away from internet is a powerful synergistic way of really diving deep into yourself and getting really clear. I also found that when you get away from social media and internet and take a break, you can really see how you use social media or the internet to stuff away or stuff down discomfort, or to hide or run from discomfort or uncomfortable feelings. How we use internet and social media as a self-soothing strategy. And from that point of view, you can then move to step number two. Step number two is when you are in that holiday, that time away from the internet, and maybe also time away from heavy foods through a cleanse, that's when stuff comes up. Because you're no longer using your usual self-soothing mechanisms of overconsumption of internet or your usual processed diet or unhealthy diet to soothe or run away from uncomfortable situations or feelings. And this step is an amazing way to get really clear and honest with how good your self-soothing practices are. And you may find your self-soothing practices outside of food or overconsumption of internet are just not good enough. And it's wonderful to know that, because you can then start crafting for yourself a self-soothing, self-care strategy. I talk about this in more detail in my Release the Weight poem dance. So I just about a month ago now, finished creating a powerful poem dance in which I pair a healing dance that I love to do around releasing excess toxic weight, paired with a video on holistic health strategies for releasing unwanted weight. Pairing the dance and pairing the strategies together to help you, if you need to, release excess unwanted weight. The name of this poem dance is called Release the Weight. I'm so proud of it, and it's now available to the public. I made it available as a pre-sale before, and I've got a lot of incredible feedback. It's now available to the public. I will leave a link to that poem dance, Release the Weight, in the description box below, so check that out. So there are many strategies I share with releasing unwanted weight holistically and naturally. And one of them is definitely around step two, which is crafting for yourself self-soothing practices outside of internet consumption and outside of food that really help you take care of yourself and deal with anxiety and stress and difficult emotions. Many of us use food to numb emotions, to stuff down emotions. I definitely did in the past. And it wasn't until I mastered or mistressed a self-soothing practice that I could do daily that I really found peace with food and peace with internet. Step number three. When you come back from that holiday, when you come back from that time away from the internet, from social media, or you come back from your food detox or cleanse, it's time to eat. It's time to have a maintenance diet. What does that look like? How do you eat healthily? Again, I talk about that in Release the Weight. So please check that out if at all you struggle with having a healthy maintenance diet. How do you also imbibe of the internet in a healthy way? I will leave a link to other videos I've made on how to consume the internet in a healthy way. I also recommend Digital Minimalism by Cal Newport. and How to Break Up with Your Phone. Those are two pretty good books, I believe, on navigating internet consumption in a healthy way. But I want to give you a couple of my tips here. I think the most powerful thing I can say about imbibing of the internet and social media in a healthy way is the following: curate your feed. And what I mean by that is get very clear about the sites you're going to be looking on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, and make sure that's all you're looking at. Another way to say this is don't just scroll on the homepage of any of these sites. That's a really strong recommendation that I have for you that can be really helpful in not getting sucked in the rabbit hole of any of these sites. There was a really good recent podcast I saw, most of the podcast, it's pretty long, done by Rich Roll and a writer called Max Fisher, who just came out with a book. I'll leave that link to that video, the podcast, in my description box below. I think it's a fantastic podcast in really shedding light how a lot of the social media sites, frankly, can really suck people in. And it's very important that you take back control, because part of what they're doing is really consciously trying to get you to stay on their sites for as long as possible. And even I, as a YouTube creator, I'm very aware of that. And one of the reasons I don't monetize my YouTube channel, I'm not a fan. I don't believe in, for myself personally, in putting ads on my channel, because I don't want just anything on my channel. I really want to have conscious material when I'm sharing with you. And so being really aware of how these sites work, I think that podcast is fantastic. So you can dive deeper about that. But what I want to say here is curate your feed. Be very, very mindful of who you're watching. And the way I do that personally is on Instagram, I have about, I think, 18 or 19, no more, because I don't want to get sucked in, of sites that I go to on my Instagram, and some of it are people that I know and love, or other sites that I really just, other Instagram pages that I find really uplift me and inspire me. But I'm not going to follow 200 people on Instagram, because I don't want to spend that much time on Instagram, and I don't want to get sucked in. So that's been a personal decision of mine. On YouTube, I subscribe to many people, but I'm not really worried about that, because on YouTube, when I look at YouTube, and I do it once a week, I don't go on the homepage of YouTube. I literally will just go on certain sites or certain YouTube pages or channels that I really want to look at, and I spend half an hour to 45 minutes max consuming that high vibe content that I know will inspire me and or educate me. That's how I manage those two sites. I don't really get on Facebook except just to post. I'm not on Twitter. And so I curate my feed, is the bottom line. And so figure a way for yourself, based on the social media or internet sites you need to be looking at or you want to be looking at, to imbibe in a way to feed yourself from a digital internet point of view in a way that's healthy and again nourishes your best health and well-being. And from the point of view of actual food, again, figure a maintenance diet that's healthy for you. Check out my poem dance, Release the Weight, for more guidance on that. So I would love to hear from you. Which of the steps that I mentioned feel really resonant with you? Are you excited to do all the 3 steps? Are some of the steps things you've done in the past, and how do they work for you? Please let me know down in the comments below. And also let me know if you're interested in more videos on food addiction or addiction in general. I'd be happy to make more videos around that. And in fact, I am planning to make some more videos as a series on food addiction coming up. So check that out and subscribe if you're not already to look at those videos. I mentioned already Release the Weight, my new poem dance that is about helping you to finally release and keep off, that's the other thing, keep off unwanted weight. And I'll leave that link in the description box below. And if you just want to stay connected with me, whether or not I'm posting, because I do take healthy breaks for myself, then consider signing up for my free newsletter. I share in that holistic health tips. I share raw vegan recipes that are delicious and nutritious, and other guidance. So if you're interested in that and knowing how it also helps you know where I am around the world. I recently did a slew of presentation performances at the Dutch Fruit Festival. The newsletter is a beautiful way for you to know where I am in the world and to connect with me and see me when I do my healing dance performances and holistic health presentations. So if you're interested in that, sign up for the newsletter in the description box below as well. I hope you found something here really helpful for you. Again, to recap, the 3 steps to take to powerfully help you heal internet and or food addiction. Number 1, take a holiday, a social media holiday, an internet holiday, and at the same time consider taking also a cleanse, doing a detox cleanse. Secondly, during that time off internet and social media, and while you're maybe doing a food cleanse, use that time to get really honest with yourself about how good your self-soothing practices are, how healthy they are, and use that time to up-level and tweak your strategy in having a self-soothing practice, daily practice, that helps you stay feeling like you're cared for and not running to food or internet to self-soothe. And thirdly, when you come back from your holiday or your detox, really start imbibing of the internet and food in a healthy way. And that's it. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up. Share it with anyone that you think might benefit, anyone that you think or know is struggling with addiction of some sort, wanting to up-level their well-being and peace. And definitely subscribe for more videos like this if interested. I send you so much love wherever in the world you are. Take care.